Welcome into the studios today, Ms. Sharon Carr from FEMA. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Mr.
And coming into the studio and being able to share with people what relief is available for many of you who have had issues out in Lawrence and surrounding counties throughout Georgia from FEMA. Now, FEMA, let's just start with the very basics and explain to people what FEMA is.
Okay, FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and we were set up by the Robert Stafford Act. That was our governing formation many years ago, and we are in the area at the behest of your governor, who requested assistance from FEMA to be able to help people who may have been impacted by a natural disaster. The governor has to request up to the President of the United States, and he's the one that signs off on we can't come in unless we are invited.
And so the federal agency coming in to help the state because of the disaster.
Yes.
And in this case, Michael.
Yes.
Man, when you look at the map, Sharon, of the counties and towns all the way across the state of Georgia who've been affected by it, a lot of people have been affected by Michael.
Quite a few.
Yeah. So you communicate well throughout the state with other FEMA representatives, and we know that there's just a terrible situation south of us, terrible.
I have not been down to that area. We do have several media relations specialists, such as myself, so we have other folks down there. So I have been covering from Dougherty County pretty much north and now east. But I understand the people in southern Georgia just are in a big world of hurt down there, as are the Floridians who also were impacted by Michael. Now, they're a different disaster because each state requests the disaster declaration. So Florida has their disaster, you have your disaster, even though it's same Michael.
Yeah. Different entities, so to speak.
Right.
Okay, so in our area now, there are people who have had damage. There are people in our area who's had damage to their homes, farms, equipment. Some maybe still displaced. So you all offer quite a bit of information, at least a starting point in gaining the information. And so are you traveling through the area door to door? You strictly right now need people to respond?
Well, we do have people in the field. They're called disaster survivor assistants, and they do canvass door to door. They go to homeowners, renters, and business folks. Yeah. They can help any of them register if they want. The businesses more often will be speaking with the Small Business Administration, and the farm folks will probably be utilizing the USDA for assistance. We partner with all of these people. FEMA kind of is a coordinator. We oftentimes will refer you, even if you come in and speak with us and we find out what you need, then we've got people, we know where to help you find some help. So.
All right. So Sharon Carr is again with FEMA. There is a local office that's been set up for you if you need to go in and discuss, if you need to get more information, if you need to sit down eyeball to eyeball and toe to toe with someone. And it's at the old West Lawrence High School. Now, many of you would know where that is, and you would enter the side from the I-16 area. So you would go around and enter where the side of the gym is, right next to the gymnasium there. You go straight on in. You know, all that's been refurbished lately by the Lawrence County school system. So you enter there, and then tell us where as you enter the door.
It's pretty much to the back of the entrance off the minor, is it Ferry Mill? No. I don't know the name of the road.
Well, once you come in and you go in like you're going into West Lawrence Middle School, you'll take that first right before the middle school football stadium, or the old middle school. So you turn down by OFTC there,
right, and
then you'll make the right into the first driveway there after OFTC property, and go around the football field, and then there on the side of the old West Lawrence High School, as it's called now, and there'll be signs to mark your way. Then you'll enter on that side, and signs will direct you right on in
Yes.
to the office.
If you want to park around the back of the building on the side nearest the freeway, nearest the highway, that'll get you your best access to
That's
the entry
right.
point.
That's the way to enter.
Yeah.
That's the way to go
Yeah.
in. So you can go out, and we have some more information for you you'll want to listen to. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Sharon Carr with FEMA.
Hi, I'm Jeff Cannon, President of Citizens Bank of Lawrence County. If you're presently a customer of ours, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to be your bank. We appreciate the confidence you have placed in us and enjoy providing you with the most up-to-date banking products and services to satisfy your needs. If you're not a current customer, we would like to invite you to stop by and let us show you true community banking at its best. We concentrate on our local community, doing our part to make Dublin and Lawrence County a better place to live, work, play, and retire. We recently introduced 2 new products, eStatements and Access Now, our mobile banking app. Both of these products will help to make banking with us more convenient and will also help to provide you with a safer and more secure banking experience. So for all your banking needs, just give us a call or stop by and let us show you personal banking at its best. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Fairview Park Hospital, a leader in healthcare for Dublin, Lawrence, and surrounding communities, providing inpatient and outpatient surgery options and rehabilitation therapy services.
Once again, we're here with Sharon Carr with FEMA, and we're talking about ways that you can get assistance. Now, the tragedy of any disaster to me many times is that people will get what you may call hoodwinked. They will get taken advantage of by someone who preys on people who are in desperate need. Now, you must, first of all, if you would come to the door, you would have a name tag on.
Get my badge.
Yeah, would have a badge and of
and
course a FEMA seal on there. And if you need to verify it in any way, if you feel more comfortable, I'm sure you could make a phone call and verify. You know, Sharon Carr is with FEMA. They'd be glad to help you in any way they can in the security of what you're doing, because when one arrives from your agency and they're trying to help someone who needs help and get them the proper assistance, one of the first things you're going to want to know is the Social Security number, and you'll go from there on the information, right?
Right, but the things that the folks are going to be asking, Social Security number of the applicant, or a minor child in the home if other applicants, if other people that live there don't have a Social Security number. If the minor child has a Social Security number, he becomes the applicant.
Okay.
So the financial information, your annual income, the damage to the property, if you have insurance coverage, and if you have the name of the company and policy number, and if you've gone ahead and filed, and we encourage you go ahead and file with them first.
Right.
Because FEMA can't duplicate any kind of funding from other sources.
Sure.
So do that. And they'll also be asking for the names of the people who were living in the home when it was impacted by the storm. So it's a number of things. But the folks that come in the field, you know, one thing, they have iPads, and they can be doing the registration just right there with you, alongside of you. The Disaster Recovery Center, you know, people, they've got their computers and they can pull up your cases. Once you give your Social Security number, that's it. You won't be giving it again. So you will be giving a case number. So if you get a phone call somewhere down the line, say, hey, I'm with FEMA and we need to verify your bank account number. Now we need to verify because we don't have the Social Security number to go with that. Can you tell us that again? That's a scam.
Right.
That's a scam.
You'll give it one time, and
One
then you'll
time.
always refer as a case number.
Yes. And
Very good.
you know, in the DRC, we call them DRCs, Disaster Recovery Centers. So if you go to the DRC, we have people from individual assistance with FEMA. We have mitigation, so the mitigation people can help you learn how to build stronger and rebuild and recover, so that you will be preventing some future damage if another big storm comes through. That's important, especially with flooded areas. I mean, you can't help a hurricane. The wind is the wind, but with the flooding, you know, you get a little bit more ability to perhaps do something a little bit different with your rebuilding, whether it's elevating or even elevating an appliance inside, things like that nature. The mitigation people can help. And the Small Business Administration is there, and they will help you. Lots of times if you have a, some people are referred to the Small Business Administration for assistance and to apply for a small business administration loan. They give you to homeowners as well as businesses. And so they're there to answer any questions and help guide you through the process.
Yeah. So the mitigation is for building and possibly just to ensure that you get what's due to you, what should come to you from maybe the insurance companies as well, or not so
No,
much?
no.
Just structurally?
No, that's,
I
yeah,
see. Just structurally.
Just some hints and ideas.
Okay. All
Now,
right.
and you, after you make your application with us, you apply, and we have all of the paperwork, you will be contacted by an inspector. And if you have your homeowner's insurance, especially for wind damage, things of that nature, you'll probably have multiple inspectors. You'll have your own insurance company's inspector,
Right.
and you'll have FEMA's inspector. So-
Are you making up the difference? Is that what you're saying?
No, every situation is unique, so we treat every applicant individually.
Wonderful.
And so, you know, we take everything into consideration, what they have been given. FEMA's position is to help folks to get back on their feet, to get back into, if their home was damaged, to a safe, sanitary, and functional place to live.
Yeah.
We cannot imagine, we can't get you back to where you were pre-disaster. If you had granite countertops and beautiful furnishings and you know, $5,000 mirrors or something, we can't do that.
Yeah, insurance will cover what they'll cover if you didn't have it
Hopefully.
insured.
Hopefully will.
Yeah.
And then if you were underinsured and you didn't have that insurance to cover it, we might be able to help some of it but like I say, for more of the basic things.
Sure.
But that's where our partner, the SBA, comes in, because the loans that they offer are very, very low interest
Right.
and long term. So, and they can tailor it to the person as well.
So coming into our area, what do you see in Lawrence, Johnson, Troutland, back over toward Wheeler County, Wilkinson County? What do you see in our areas that are really the issues?
You know, I haven't been in those specific areas, but what I am hearing, and only hearing, there's a lot of people that are concerned with their crops. There's a lot of farming and things going, and you know, a lot of trees down and wind damage. So that's probably, and the electricity, the loss of electricity for so long.
And so any losses from that if insurance doesn't pick it up, or if it's, again, if it's structural things, then they would contact you. And again, you come in on an individual basis. So if you hear something that's of one case, it may not be the same case for you, because again, every case is an individual case. And there are different components of it. The insurance is going to be different. Maybe a small business a loan that they could apply for. Several factors are involved here, so you need to get all the information. You can get in touch with FEMA, you can get in touch with Sharon, and Sharon is trying to get the word out to everyone right now.
Yeah.
And then there are caseworkers, there are people out in the field, there are people at the old West Lawrence High School who are standing by to assist you. You can just get in the car and go over there,
Yep,
right?
and they are there from 9 in the morning till 7 at night. Right now, Monday through Saturday. Sunday, they're open from 1 to 7. And the hours will change on occasion. I would suggest that if people don't remember where the location is or the time, they can go on to an application online or on the smartphone. And it's called a FEMA app. You can download it to your smartphone. It's free. And you can pull up the locations and the hours. And if you want to talk to a person, that's where you get into that section. Even if you want to apply through that app, you can do that too.
You can do it all online, and we have it on screen for you now. You'll be able to just go on and fill out the application. If you'd rather sit with someone and make sure, if you're not quite comfortable with it, then they're there for you, also just a phone call away.
I think that it's really great that people have the ability to talk to a person, because we can talking to somebody if
Sure.
you've got a question.
Sure.
And it's just not making sense. It's so much easier eye to eye. And
Yeah, it'll help you tremendously. Anytime you're talking about a form, an application of this magnitude that affects your livelihood, you want to make sure you get it right.
oh, can I mention, when you said livelihood, you reminded me, Georgia, the state of Georgia, we have the Disaster Unemployment Assistance Program. The deadline for application for that is November 15th. That's a separate deadline from registering for the disaster. So if you couldn't work because of something that happened in the storm, if your place of employment was shut down because of something that happened to Michael, you can get in contact with the Georgia State Department of Labor and go through them and apply for disaster unemployment services.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knew? You did.
I did. That's why I'm here.
That's wonderful because people without work, without the ability to work, hampered by the storm for an amount of time, what do? You get behind. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And so there are agencies available. FEMA is available. They can direct you to Labor Department, to whomever you need to get in touch with. That's why they're kind of a parent over the disaster relief, and if it's USDA that you need, if it's small business, if your insurance, your individual insurance will cover it. But the first thing you need to do is file that insurance policy, don't
Absolutely, absolutely, because we get stuck because we can't go any further until
Yeah.
we know how much the insurance is going to pay for.
you? And that's not going to happen like that. Insurance
No.
will they're going to have to come out and assess, and
That's
then
true.
you'll
They'll
know.
inspect, and then you'll bring us the papers, and then we'll inspect. Now, let me just say that if you're not insured at all, then the inspector will get our inspector out there right away within 7 to 10 days. And if you are insured, we typically wait to see if you can provide us with the company, at least the company's name. Don't wait for the claim to be finished, because some insurance companies are not quite as quick as others. And so if you waited for that money in your hand from the insurance, our deadline might be passed.
I see.
The deadline to register for this disaster assistance is December 13th. And if you're not registered within the time frame for your particular disaster, and you find something later, you won't be able to get any help, because we'll say registration has ended. You didn't register when you were supposed to.
didn't
So
meet the
you have to be
deadline.
really careful about that.
Yeah.
We want to make sure people know that.
Yeah, please go ahead and make the call now, make the contact, go online, get the app, call the telephone number, get in touch with someone with FEMA now if you've had the issues, so that there'll be somewhere, some help that can help you fill in that gap, because there's almost always going to be a gap there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't fill in everything, but we'll do the best we can. And like we
Yeah.
say, we
And
care
it's a
about
work in
people out
progress,
here.
isn't it? It's a work in progress.
It always
Once
is.
you fill out the app, you have your application, the wheels are turning, you're in the system, so to speak. So things
Yep.
will work out a lot better for
Usually
you.
about 7 to 10 days for the inspector, and then the inspector will turn his work over to the next level of FEMA, who reviews that. And he can't tell anybody what he thinks when he's there. The only thing he can do is verify the damage.
Right.
And so then it's usually about 7 to 10 days after that, they'll get what they call a determination letter in the mail.
Okay.
And that will let them know whether they're eligible for assistance, or if they're ineligible for assistance. That happens too.
Sure.
Different kind of reasons. Read the letter carefully. Don't get mad and throw it in the trash because it says you're ineligible. You may not have provided the Social Security number. You may not have given insurance information, maybe just one form you need. And if you need a form and you have to fax it in, bring it on down to DRC, because they can help you fax it. They can help you there. So
Yeah.
take advantage of them.
It's great information.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for being out here on behalf of our federal government, for working with the local residents, for working with the
Thank
state
you.
of Georgia. And we trust that you'll go ahead and make plans now. Don't wait. Go ahead and make the contact now. You can go out to the old West Lawrence High School. Give us those hours again.
It's Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And if you do need the phone number, that's 621-3362. That goes for the FEMA helpline.
All right. Karen Carr, everyone, with FEMA, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
It's a pleasure.
ma'am. Thank you for joining us right here on TV 35.